Alright, hello and welcome back. Time to continue with the extra story. This will be the second part that will be all about the new character Ku. Now this is one of the characters that people did want to be playable, and of course the developers did make her a playable character. And I think the same can be said about this character that you can see on the screen. That is Luna. She will also potentially be a new character that will be playable in maybe the next one or two updates. That will be also very fun to find out. That is also one of the more anticipated characters in the game. Now, Ku on the other hand, the first time where we actually did meet the character was, I think, in chapter 12. She was a main boss at the end of chapter 12, and of course she is part of the most famous cutscene in the game, the Ku versus Raven cutscene. That is, by the way, the best cutscene that they did make to date, and I really do hope that the cutscene that we will have here will be better. Now, of course, I do have high hopes for that because there is also Luna here as a boss. Now, I think she will be a boss in the hard stages, in the hidden stages, should I say. So it will be very interesting to see what the cutscene will be like, and of course it will be very interesting to finally see Luna as a boss. That is something that people did wait for I think for a very long time now. And of course Luna is also one of the more popular characters in the game, and she does have to be playable at some point. Now Ku here does have... there are at least 4 different characters of Ku. That is mostly because she does have... I think they are only doubles. They serve as protection to the main character here, which is interesting because she is... I think she is a emperor. At least that's what I did read. And this also takes place a couple of years before the apocalypse struck the world where they live on. Or if not a couple years before, a couple years after the apocalypse did happen in the game. So it will be interesting to see how the early phases and the early stages of the apocalypse did actually look like. Because before everything went down, before it happened, the world where they lived on, and the overall planet, and the overall civilization that did live, was actually highly advanced. Now, of course, they have their own problems, of course, but overall, they were and of course, they still are a highly advanced civilization. But before the apocalypse did happen in the game, it was, I think, a little bit it was a better place, a little bit at least. It was at least a more better place than it is now, where most of the civilization is living on a orbiting space station that can be deorbited anytime. Well, who is this? Okay, well, that's a nice looking character, I have to admit. And I know people immediately would demand to have that character as a playable character. Now I have to say the character design is absolutely amazing. I do like how they did make the character. This game has one of the better designed characters that I did see in a mobile game so far. They do have the quality, they do have the high details on them, and of course they are all unique, which makes them very interesting. Now I have to admit, the person with the mask on the left does remind me on Destiny a lot. Still, it does remind me on Destiny Armors. That game is one of the games that I did want to play, but unfortunately some things happened and I wasn't able to start the game. Okay, well, who is this? Interesting. Very interesting stuff. going on here in the background. And keep an eye on the background. I have to say, they did sure have a very nice room there. That was a very nice room. Now, I think it is kind of already obvious that the developers are slowly but surely pushing larger maps. They sure push longer missions, which means very soon we might actually get a open world of this game, which will be interesting. And I'll be sure to play that, because I think these developers actually know how to make a open world game. Now let's see what will happen here. And also I can't wait to play the new character. Now I did get the character. Of course I did have to get this character. It was one of the more anticipated characters in the last couple updates. So now I am in the process of gearing out the character. I'm in the process of leveling up the equipment and of course upgrading the equipment. When I complete that, I'll definitely take a closer look at how the character plays, and of course I'll take a closer look at how the character overall, how the character performs. Now the background is very pretty, and I have to admit the developer, oh no, please don't. The hangman last time, the new hangman, did actually kill me last time, so I kind of don't want to experience the same thing twice, so please no hangmans, okay? Oh man. The most feared enemy in the game has to be the hangman. What the hell happened there in the background? I kind of didn't pay attention to what happened there in a moment. Okay, well, let's see. Really, I do really hope for the Nier Automata event to be soon, because I think that will be a very big thing for the game. And of course, that will make the game closer to the global release, which at the moment I am waiting for any announcement for the global version of the game, because I do think the global version will be one of the next versions of the game after the next server of the game has been released, which will be interesting. I know that a lot of people are waiting for this game to land on global, and it will very soon. Okay, well, Ku here doesn't seem to be very happy about something. Now, what is this in the background? It honestly looks like a server room, although I am sure that's not a server room. Well then, the first level stage, finally. Let's jump in and let's see what will happen. I am very curious to see what will happen with the story. And again, I do like how they did separate. The first part is all about the A-class character, the second part will be all about Ku, and the third part will be one of the... I think the third part is potentially going to be the best part of the extra stories. And of course, you are going to see why in, of course, the next video. What is this? Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's see what happens. Now, I did hear that the story here has a voiced cutscene, so when the voiced cutscene does pop up, I will be silent so that the game's sound can be heard. Or it depends, because for some reason I do remember that the voice got cut because of the auto dialogue thingy that is in the game, which I think can be worked by the developers to be fixed. Alright, on to the where is the playable part? So far this has been only cutscenes, which is okay, but I do want to play the game. I do want to play the game. So far the game has been amazing, of course. No complaints about that. That is also one important thing that I have to say. Okay, well that's interesting. That's very interesting. So she does have a very large crowd. Now I have to take a look at the background. You can see how the
九龙作为这个人类的城市依次沦陷，是因为不断有英勇的士兵为了保卫九龙而奔赴前线。他们向帕弥什，向世界证明着九龙的意志。我们会让这群破铜烂铁永远的沉眠在九龙的土地上，锈蚀殆尽。因为我们怀抱着相同的骄傲。 我们信念的坚定不可置疑。过去的一切凝结成从很久以前开始。九龙，我们是谁？九龙。 是的，我们是九龙的战争必定带来牺牲，而在九龙的历史中，九龙众是九龙商，他们会为踏上九龙神圣的土地而付出无。这里是九龙商，九龙商万世长存。
Okay, well that was interesting. I don't know if they... Well, let's see what will happen. I have a bad feeling about this. Honestly, I have no clue what happened there, but that was a interesting touch from the developers for adding voice for that cutscene. It is, I think, the right approach that they should do. They should add voiced dialogue for the entire story. They can do that. That was the proof that they can actually do that. And they can also do a lot more of these 3D rendered cutscenes that we all like. Well then, let's jump in the stage and let's see what will happen. Okay, that was nice. That was nice. Let's see what will happen. The background is... and they even added weather effects. Oh, okay. Well, looks like they don't like the Emperor. Okay, well. Okay, well that was very well made, I have to admit. Of course, there are going to be more enemies. Excellent. Let's... okay, they are trying to... okay, that's something that I can't allow to happen. Wait, what? She is alive. There we go. Of course she is alive. Well, that was a very interesting cutscene. That was a very interesting stage. And that was very well done, I have to admit. That was actually very good. Oh man, these developers are actually... they actually know what they're doing, despite all the things that I keep reading about them, which is weird. Okay, let's see what will happen now. So far, I have to say, I was right when I did say that this part will be very interesting. This is some very nice things that the developers did prepare for us. Honestly, they did a good job. Okay, let's see. Now, I think I'll be also playing the character's affection story. That also will be, I think, will be very interesting. And I honestly can't wait for the global version to arrive to actually understand what the hell is going on in the game. I do understand some things, but a lot of the things I don't, so a global version will be definitely a good thing to have. Well, let's jump on the next stage. Let's see what will happen. Now, from all the arts that the game has, I think they did a extra good job on the art design for this character, because she looks very good. The color matches the overall character aesthetics. Everything matches so perfectly fine, and I have to say they did a good job on this. They did a fantastic job on the game. Okay, what is this? Well, this is a very nice area, although the clouds are making this... the clouds are actually making this look a lot more serious, I have to admit. These are storm clouds. I think they could have added lightning strikes. That would be actually nice. But the current atmosphere is actually very well done. Is that a missile launcher? What the hell is a missile launcher doing here? I think that's a missile launcher. What the hell is a... That looks like a missile launcher. That literally looks like a missile launcher. I think it is. But why is it here? I mean, if they have missile launchers as defense systems, then that means that's protection against aerial attacks. Am I right? So that's interesting. Okay. Now I am now curious to see what the ships do look like. Okay, there is the second missile launcher. Actually, that might not even be a missile launcher, but the tubes on both sides of that weapon do look like a missile launcher. So I apologize if I did call something else a missile launcher, if it's not a missile launcher, because it looks like a missile launcher at the moment. Okay, that was close. I for a moment did not know what to do. They did launch a grenade at me. Oh my god, that became brutal very quickly, didn't it? But she is absolutely destroying all of these enemies. Oh my god. This character is very fun to play, I have to admit. Very fun to play and very smooth to play. What is this? This looks like a cannon. What the hell? Don't tell me I'm a... Okay, that kick was unnecessary. Well, that was nice. So I get to control a turret now. Okay, that brings up good old memories from old games that I used to play a long time ago. Okay, very nice. That was very nice. I think that needs to be worked on a little bit. It would be a lot more engaging if that thing was not firing slow bolts, but if it were shooting fast, let's say, I don't know, blaster shells or something like that. If it were like that, I think it would be a lot more engaging. But that was nice, and a nice touch to the game, I have to admit. That was something that, again, did kind of surprise me. Which makes me curious onto the future of this game. I think it will be very nice, because so far they are doing a good job. They are doing a very, very good job so far. Okay, let's see. Overall, a more interesting story than the story that was in the first part. A lot more engaging in terms of combat, and a lot more engaging in terms of overall stuff that you can do, and of course cutscenes. I don't remember any cutscene from the first part, but in the second part we already had 2 cutscenes. That was very nice. Those 2 cutscenes were actually very interesting, and of course the quick time events in this case were also interesting. In the first part I actually missed the quick time events. Okay, this dialogue is also very long for some reason. Now, because Luna will make an appearance here, that makes me also very curious on what will happen in the main story of the game, because I am still expecting a continuation of the main story. It has to happen, it will happen, and chapter 13, I think it should be chapter 13, might be very interesting, and I will let myself be surprised by the developers. So far they have been doing a very good job on the game, so I do trust them at this moment to give us a very good story and very polished gameplay. Now, what is this? For a moment I thought that I did see a industrial area, but that's not a industrial area. I also still do hope that we kind of visit other planets within the system, because I think they can also do that. That would be actually very interesting, and if I could give the developers a recommendation, I definitely tell them to add a lot more maps, because I think the map design that they did make so far is very nice. So far it has been very nice. Okay, what was that in the background? The background did kind of catch my attention for a moment. I don't know what I did see, but there was something in the background. Okay, well, let's go on to the next stage. And it is a playable stage. Okay, that would be nice. So let's jump in. And let's see what will wait for me at the end of this stage. Now, the hidden story of this chapter will be released in, I do hope, in at least a couple days, because at the moment it is still locked. So I will be waiting for that to be released, and I also do expect to have 3 parts, but there might not be 3 parts, there might be only one singular part for the entire storyline of the hidden chapters, which makes me curious to see what will be there and what will actually be the topic of the next hidden story. But I think I can also guarantee that it will be all about maybe Luna, because she should make an appearance. And okay, that did catch me by surprise. So it is a boss, but alright. Well then, I will be focusing on the boss battle now. Well, that was nice. That was very nice. The combat was so smooth. Oh my god, I did not expect this to be this smooth. That kind of caught me by surprise, and that finishing move also caught me by surprise. Very interesting stage, I have to admit. Well, so far I have to say this might be my favorite part of this new extra chapter, or should I say extra story. It is well made, and I think this will be the last cutscene. Well, honestly, this was very good. They did a good job for this, and oh man, am I curious about the next part now. This was very nice. Wait, what is this? Oh, okay, it is a... oh, okay. We did have this around, I think, at the end of chapter 12, when Raven lost her memories. That was, I think, the exact same thing that was displayed, and that was very interesting. Well then, overall, the second part is a part that I personally did like more than the first part, and the first part was good, but the second part just had a lot more cutscenes. It did have a lot more interesting gameplay, and it did have a interesting scenery, interesting mechanics, cutscenes. The cutscenes were very good, and it also did have a voiced cutscene that I do want for the developers to actually make all conversations in the game voiced. That is going to be a very nice touch to the game, and of course it will improve the game quality by a lot. Well, with that being said, I do hope that you enjoyed the second part of the new event, and well, with that being said, stay safe and I'll see you next time.